Hey there, it's Vashti Sarah. Welcome back to Post Blog. If this is your first time listening, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like button, follow button, share button, all the buttons to stay connected with the Post Blog podcast. And for those of you who this is not your first time, welcome back. Hey guys, welcome back to Post Blog podcast. It has been a very hot minute since I have pushed out any type of podcasting content. And to be honest, I did not plan to take this long of a break, but it was necessary. I definitely needed it. I needed a time to reset and just refocus after my last blog and podcast about dismantling abortion. I got a lot of hate for that podcast, especially in that discussion. I got a lot of feedback from it. And personally, I'm the type of person who try to just let things roll by, shove things under the rug and just let people have their moment, let people have their comments, whatever they have to say, and just keep on keeping on because you are entitled to your own opinion. But getting feedback or response from other or fellow Christian associates or fellow Christian friends, acquaintances, was very hard because, first of all, there's this type of worldview you believe going into Christianity. At least for me, I just expected, all Christians think just like I do. And I guess that's extremely naive of me, and I'm willing to admit that. But going into Christianity at a very young age, I've always been extremely black and white. Yes is yes, no is no, and there are no gray areas, which I know that is wrong because there are quite a bit of gray areas in the walk of Christianity. And at the end of the day, I'm not the judge, God is. But a lot of the times, especially with my type of personality, very type A, black and white, we view the world very simple. It's either this way or that way. And when other Christian or fellow Christians don't believe as you do when you think they should, that's when your worldview kind of gets turned upside down. So that was the place I was in. I got a lot of hate and feedback from my last my podcast episode for season 3. And it just pushed me in a very, very tough place because I didn't expect that type of feedback. And my personality is always like, yeah, everyone will agree with me. No, that's fairy tale land. And obviously we don't live in a fairy tale land. We live in the real world, and the real world can be very harsh. And while I open and welcome criticism and opinions, I think what was very hard for me wasn't the fact that I was receiving criticism and opinion. It was the fact that I was receiving it from a heart that wasn't in the right place. So, I mean, for those of you who are my friends, you know my heart, you know where I stand, and I try to be very compassionate and merciful towards those who think differently than I do. But the response I was receiving was like targeting my character and targeting my husband and just different things. And it's very rude, very uncalled for. But, my husband encouraged me and he said, Vashti, you need to take a time to reset. You need to take a sabbatical because you've been going for a full year, just pushing content out there, whether that is podcast, blog, writing books, Instagram reels. I was just going. And, the first time I took a break, well, it was supposed to just be a couple weeks for my website. And for those of you who do not know, go check out VashtiSarah.com. It's a completely brand new website. We're still working on a couple tweaks and stuff, but I just didn't want to wait any longer. I just wanted to get the ball rolling. I took too much of a longer break than I wanted, and I was just ready. So go check out my website. Props to and shout out to Scaling Genesis. They're the ones that redesigned my website and is helping me with all the logistical side of things, the back end work. So that's Scaling Genesis, and owned by my brother, Zebedee Peterson, and Sean. He works with him too, and he's been doing all the heavy lifting for that. So thank you guys so much. Shameless plug there for my brother's business. But anyways, I took a break, sabbatical, first because of my website, second because I was just feeling very bogged down by the feedback I was receiving, and 3, I just needed a reset. I needed a time to mentally detach myself from writing because I was getting burnt out. So long story short, we are back. Season 4, I've been antsy and excited to get back into pumping out content and sharing my heart. There's so much I have in store for this season and so much good stuff I have in store. And talking about good stuff, why not? What better way to start off season 4 by giving you 5 episodes this week? Can I get an amen? And I probably should insert like clapping hands here. Yay! 5 episodes this week. So I know you didn't ask for it, but there you go. I'm giving you 5 episodes this week because this week I decided, while it's not a national woman boss week, girl boss week, I am making it a national woman boss, girl boss week because I'm highlighting different women that I am seeing being world changers out there. And the reason behind this series or this week of highlighting women is because I realize that we are living in a time, or there's this culture that says, you know, they want to have this feminist movement. Women can do anything. Women are this, women are that, highlighting women. But yet we are doing the exact opposite. We're being extremely hypocritical with this agenda that we're pushing out there. Granted, I am not by any stretch of the imagination for the feminist movement. I don't believe or support in it because a lot of it is what has ruined the structure of marriage, the structure of the family unit. A lot of it has dismantled to some degree that ideology of who a man is and who a woman is. So, I mean, forgive me for saying this, but again, we're all entitled to our own opinions. But a woman can do certain things that a man can't do, and a man can do certain things that a woman can do, and that's just point blank. That's just the nature of it. So the whole idea of a feminist movement, I get the idea behind it, but the sum total of what is being supported and pushed with that agenda, I cannot fully back up. But yes, I do want to highlight women because I do believe that is important. Women are being more and more courageous in what they're doing and being more comfortable in their skin and saying, hey, I can be an entrepreneur. I can be an entrepreneur. I can do something different. I can make a difference in this world. I can, be a mom and also be a business owner. I can be a full-time mom and raise kids that are world changers. I can be single and, create an empire, and the list goes on. So that is one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to push out these episodes this week, because one, I believe that we as women are being very hypocritical despite the agenda that we're trying to push out there. We say we want to support women, but women aren't supporting women. And that's just the nature of it. And I've noticed it in my own life where I'm trying to go against the norm, the norm of getting married, having kids, and then that's it. And that's not because I'm trying to prove a point. It's just the nature of who I am. I love creating content. I love writing. I love reading. And I love business. I love business a lot. The idea of it, the logistical, the back end side of it. I like the execution part of it. The visionary part, no, that's all my husband. But I love the back end part of it. And then secondly, the reason why I wanted to push out this week of content is because I want to start that motivation within us as women to support each other. Too often rather than supporting our friends who are going out there and trying to change the world and being a difference, what we're doing is we're getting jealous and we're getting bogged down in our jealousy. And we say we support, but in actuality, behind closed doors, we're criticizing, ridiculing, mocking, and shaming our own friends who we call, our friends. So, I just want to change that culture and that narrative that we have, that facade that we've put out there that, oh yeah, we are women supporting women, but we're actually women slapping women in their faces. And, it's hard. And I'll be completely transparent here. I do my blogs. I do the podcast. I have an accounting business that I'm trying to build up on the side. I work full time as an accountant, and I also enjoy event planning. And recently I've been doing it a little bit more, but And I'm also helping my husband. My husband has his collectibles business that he's been scaling tremendously. And he also has a power washing business. So there's several different things that we're doing. And me personally, or actually, let me talk about my husband a little bit. Whenever he started his collectible business, because he was initially in the industrial side of the business world, he started his collectible business. He got mocked. He got ridiculed. You're never going to make money. That's so stupid. That's just such a nerdy thing. And, got mocked for a long time and is still getting mocked to this day. And what I realized is that not everyone is going to support you initially. Not everyone sees your vision. Not everyone sees the purpose behind what you're doing. And what I admired greatly about my husband is that he did not allow the noise to stop him. He did not allow the negative naysayers to stop him. He kept on keeping on. He knew his why. He remembered his why. And it was never about making money, but it was about making a difference. And if he can compensate for that, then that's a bonus. And here we are today, fast forward 2 years later, he resigned from his job that was making really good money. And now he's our primary source of income, his collectibles business. And now we're building up and trying to scale North Texas House Wash, our power washing business. So crazy story there, and hopefully an encouragement to you who's listening. But on the female side of things, I get a woman starting a business is a little bit more placed in the forefront because men have led the generations from the beginning of the time. So women leading is very new to some degree, but it's also emphasized a lot more. And with me doing my blogs, podcasts, accounting firm and all that, I got ridiculed. I got ridiculed by friends, by family, got mocked, got teased, and I still am. And a lot of times that can be discouraging, that can be overwhelming because you expect people to champion you on. You have these expectations going in. But what I have to remember, and my husband reminds me time and time again, is whenever I'm discouraged, is remember your why. You never started for someone else. You never started this because you wanted to please someone or be in the spotlight. You started this because you wanted to help someone. Your why resorted back to Jesus. At least for me and for him, our why resorted back to Jesus, that God-given desire and passion in our heart to make a difference, even if it's in someone's life. So, to start off this week, that's what I want to encourage y'all. We have phenomenal speakers, Lili, DeLaCruz, Jessica Estrada, Gabrielle Calvary, Phoebe Abraham, that will be speaking throughout the week, and they will be sharing their side of business, their perspective, what they do, their why, the struggles in starting their business, and the success that they've had, but also an encouragement to you who's listening, especially as a female, because I feel like as women, we have this underlying understanding that my sole purpose here on earth is to get married, have kids, and then I'm done. And I'm here to burst that bubble right now. And that's not to say that getting married or becoming a mom is of no worth. Just clear the air there. That is extreme of worth. That is a purpose and a calling in itself. However, a lot of the times, because we're stuck in that normal, this is what life should be mentality, we forget who we are, and we forget that God's given us a purpose and God's given us dreams and visions to change and impact the world. And if he hasn't, or you feel like you don't have that vision or dream, I challenge you to pray about it. Pray about what God wants you to do, how you can be a difference and make a difference in this world. So it's for you who's listening, who have a desire in your heart, but you feel stuck, who think, oh, well, I'm a mom now, I can't do anything. Nope. One of our speakers this week is a mom, and she will be encouraging you about how you can be a mom and still be a world changer and still be a woman boss, a girl boss, going after it and running the show. It could be you feel like, well, everyone else is doing this, so what's the point of me trying? Well, I mean, there are like 50 billion different types of cars out there. I mean, that's an exaggeration probably, but you know what I'm saying? Diversification. Just because someone else is doing something similar to what you want to do doesn't mean that you shouldn't do what you feel like what God has called you to do. There are billions of speakers out there. I mean, for crying out loud, there are probably billions of podcasts out there. And that could have stopped me from starting my podcast. That could have stopped me from starting my blogs. You know, there's so many people writing out there, books and blogs and different pieces, but that didn't stop me, and it shouldn't stop you. It shouldn't stop any of us. You have a purpose. There's something specific God has called you to do. And my goal this week for Woman Boss, Girl Boss Week is to encourage you as the woman who feels stuck, who feel like you are hiding behind your spouse because of his dream or his vision. Look, my husband is out there grinding, doing his thing, but that hasn't stopped me to grind and do my thing. My husband's office is right next to mine. And, you know, yes, our schedules are crazy jam-packed, but at the end of the day, we are grinding with each other. And I think there's this crazy thought process in us women, and I say us because sometimes I fall trapped to that, and I get married and I have to do whatever my husband says. And granted, there are some women out there who are living in a very unhealthy, abusive, controlling relationship. And there are some men living like that too. But I'm talking about you who knows, you know that God has given you a specific calling, a desire, that gifting in you. Go after it. You and your spouse should be each other's teammates, each other's cheerleader, championing each other on. You can make a difference. You have a purpose. So that's all I have to say for this episode. Tune in for the next couple days. I promise you will enjoy what these women have to say, and go follow them on their Instagram, social, their business platform. Go send them a message and tell them how much what they had to say meant to you and impacted your life. And yeah, welcome back to Post Blog Podcast. Season 4, we're kicking off really strong, and join me next time. Have a good one. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for joining me on Post Blog. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like button, follow button, share button, all the buttons to stay connected on the Post Blog Podcast. Same time, same place next week. I love y'all. But remember, God loves you most.